Hey everybody, welcome to episode 19 of Answers to Questions. Let's get right to it. First question of the day comes in on the Facebook page from Thaddeus Geed. He says, do you have a visible org chart or defined roles and positions? That actually our answer would be and. We have both. So here's our org chart. And as you can see, we have defined positions by title. And then within those positions in the subsequent document, we actually have like the job responsibilities and the roles of what each person does. Now my tip here, if you're a small team like we are at Lemonly, we didn't have an org chart for a while because we were under 10 people. But I think around maybe 13 or so, we finally made an org chart. And what we did is we kind of showed this was the past where we've been, not really an org chart. This is the present where we are today. And most importantly, this is probably the future of what our org chart could look like. So that way no one feels like they're stuck on the org chart or there's room to grow, and we still don't really know everything like it will look like in the future, but this is an idea of what it could look like. So that's my tip for org charts.
Hello, JTM, John Meyer, my bro founder. It's wanted to send in a question. I hope family members can do this for your show, and really curious about remote workers. We have a team that's getting more remote, it seems, by the month. Curious best practices, what you've found, and when you should hire remote versus not. When does the market force you to do that? And if so, what tools are you using to make that work? Hope that is a great topic. It's one I'm curious about. Thanks for your show. Good luck, and keep going and doing what you're doing. See ya.
All right, that's my brother Scott, co-founder of 9Clouds, a company I started with him about 7 years ago. And yes, remote work, it's a great thing. It's a part of Lemonly. Probably about a quarter, 20% of our employees work remote. And I think remote culture is embedded at Lemonly. So our first hire that Amy and I made was actually a designer in Serbia, and she worked for Lemonly over 3 years. And so I think our goal from the beginning, when do you decide or when does the market make you do it, to Scott's question, is we just wanted the best people, right? We wanted the best talent at Lemonly, the best designers, the best project managers, whoever those people are or wherever they are, we wanted the best. Now they also had to fit the culture and our core values and what we believe in. So when is it right to go remote? I think you have to decide that. If you're a fast growing company and you want the best talent, you need to be open to it right away from the beginning. And best tips on how to do it, I think it's really essential you try very, very hard to make sure your remote people feel included in the culture. Now, if your company's 100% remote, that's probably fine, and your culture is maybe a little different and unique. At Lemonly, the other 75% are here in the office, so we try really hard. We use Slack as a tool to keep in touch, share funny jokes, give them updates. We do a video conference every single Monday to really hear from them and just say what's going on in your life and what's going on in work today. And then we try to actually fly our people in all together twice a year. So in the spring during our Lemonly Hackathon and in the fall during our Lemonly retreat. So it's important, I think, to get FaceTime and to continually to ask your remote people, how can we do better? Is there anything more we can do? Can we send you something? How are you feeling a part of the culture? So make sure they're connected, but definitely look into it. It allows you to not only get great talent, but different perspectives, different parts of the country or the world, and remote work can be super powerful. Our third question comes from an email from Sarah, and she says, you blog a lot about company culture and Lemonly HR policies. Which of Lemonly's policies are you most proud of? That's a great question. I really enjoy personally our summer hours, which we do from Memorial Day to Labor Day, which is we close the office a little early on Friday afternoons. That's a great one, but I think the one I'm most proud of is probably our maternity and paternity leave. And why? Only because it's something that it was a big jump for us. We do 4 weeks paid for our moms and 2 weeks paid for our dads. Then of course they can use PTO or any short-term disability benefits. But I think why I'm proud of it is we came out and we shared it. We said, we still think it's not enough. We'd love to do more. But I've actually had some companies in Sioux Falls reach out to me and ask me more details about how they do it. And I've had one person actually at a different agency in Sioux Falls take our blog post and bring it to her boss and saying, here's what they do at Lemonly. Like, do you think there's something we can do? Or is there a place for improvement for us at our company? So I'm really proud of that because I think that policy is hopefully setting at least a standard to start. I think we can still beat it, but we want to continue to push the bar. And so that's what I'm really proud of, Sarah. All right, and our last question, this is the question of the week, came in on Twitter. What are your 2 favorite podcasts right now and why? So the first podcast I would say would be a podcast called Startup. So Startup is from Gimlet Media, which is a podcast company. They produce several shows, and the Startup podcast is actually following entrepreneurs about creating their company. Season 1 is incredible. It's about how Gimlet came to be, so it's actually a podcast about starting a podcast company. It's great, check it out. My second favorite one, I think, is probably the Tim Ferriss show. So Tim Ferriss, author of like 4 Hour Workweek, 4 Hour Body, interviews high performance individuals from military generals to grand chess masters to entrepreneurs, and tries to pull out like what are the secrets, the books that they read, the hacks that they have, and any type of kind of tips that they have for being high performers. So those are the 2 podcasts I would recommend. I also listen to some fantasy baseball podcasts during the season to help win my league. But question of the week this week is, what are your favorite podcasts? So leave a comment or send us an email on your favorite podcast. All right, everyone, that is episode 19. Thank you for all of the great questions. Of course, I love to get your questions. So if you want to send one in for episode 20, that's crazy, 20, make sure you send it in, and here is how you can do it. Have a great week.